guys, welcome back to Iowa Made Blog. Today we're going to be hearing from an undergraduate student at the University of Iowa who's studying creative writing on the publishing track.
Alright, so my name is Paige Pearson. I am a third-year junior at the University of Iowa, and I study communication studies and English creative writing publishing. I came to the University of Iowa because it's so rich in its literary history, and I know that it's had previously and is now known to have one of the best writing programs. And as someone who's really interested in English books and writing, it was really exciting. Also, they just introduced a publishing program when I came in my freshman year, and so that was really exciting for me because I was really interested on the book publishing side, like how books get published as well as what it's like to be a writer. I chose creative writing because I can't really say it just kind of happened. I had always been really into writing and I love English, but I would never be a teacher or anything like that. So it just felt like the only option I could go to, and so far it's turned out pretty well for me. I chose to go on the publishing track because it's seen as really irrational to be a creative writer, to go to college for creative writing. Currently, even though there are so many things that the people here can teach us. So that was kind of like my cop-out to my parents. I'm like, yeah, it's creative writing, but it's publishing. So I'll have a job, I promise, when really like the main goal is to be a creative writer. I definitely feel as if the teaching staff has strengthened my writing. It's really interesting because when we have advanced writing classes and honors classes, we get actual authors from the graduate program who are sitting down and teaching us, and they give out such helpful information because they're either working on a book or publishing a book, and they're all surrounded by brilliant minds in the program that they're in. So it just kind of like trickles down to us, and also they give out so much good information on what it's like to be published, what it's like to be an author, go to readings and all that stuff. So you really get the full experience more than just writing. It's all of what it takes to be a creative writer. Someone who's really inspiring to me is Bennett Sims. He teaches a horror writing advanced workshop, which has been really fun, where it's basically all the students that have never written horror before, and we're just looking at this guy who's an author and wrote this really cool book on zombies, except it was a book about zombies without zombies, because it was really interesting how he did it. It had all the zombies in like isolation while he was focused on the main character and trying to like find cures and whatnot. So right now he's kind of walking us through how to find all these different types of horror, like body horror, fairy tale horror, and all the different horrific elements that go into writing horror. So he's been really helpful with that, and I'm really thankful for that. Yeah, so the main events that I attend held by the Iowa Writers Workshop is the Prairie Lights reading. I've attended them both for fun and for class, but I think it's super cool to have authors come down here, and sometimes I'll just be chilling in Prairie Lights and I'll be like, oh, there's a reading tonight, I'll stay, and then when the author talks about their book and when they're speaking about it, reading from it, they get so excited, and then I buy their book right after because I want to see what that person's book's like after that. But I think it's super useful to hear from authors directly and to bring some names into Iowa City. I'm actually planning to go to grad school for communication studies, but the goal is to get a PhD in communications and then maybe trickle back down for an MFA in fiction writing. The goal is to have communications and being a professor be my main job while I get to enjoy creative writing and publish books on the side. Goals for directly after graduation is to get into a communications program and work on a dissertation and study the world of sex communication, but also it's to find time to continue doing something I loved and something that I wanted to make my major, which is creative writing. And if it so happens that I'm able to write a book and then it like takes off enough for me to write another one and then switch over to just being a full-time author, that I would gladly take that right away. Like if I could do that now and not even bother with grad school, 100%. I've seen my writing grow a lot since coming to college. It's amazing to look back on things and just be like, ooh. But people, largely due to the writing workshops that we have been able to point out things that I do and just be like, I love this, and then I'm able, when I write, to be aware of it and kind of capitalize capitalize on that afterwards. Like, I never realized I'm like really a flowery prose writer. Like, I like to slow down time and stop a lot, when I was just doing that in like quick little bits, like when I first came in. And now that people are like pointing and saying, this is beautiful, you need to do this more, I can like kind of milk that out and make the scene, really build a scene and the emotion in it. And that's my strongest point. So I 100% think it's a valuable major. We have this one class called English at Work, and it kind of discusses all the possible jobs that you can have as a creative writing major. And yesterday they brought in this guy from a legal firm, and they're like, we want you guys so badly. We want you guys to type up legal transcripts for us. We're looking for creative writers. There are so many jobs that people, for creative writers, that people aren't aware of, and being able to write well is such an important skill that I feel is really undervalued, because I have my engineering friends coming towards me with papers and they're like, please help me, and I'm just like, this is not good. So I think it's really useful, even if you have a different major, just to be able to write well, fluently, and not to have it take 5 hours to come up with one good page. So my parents were supportive of me wanting to write, but not me having it as my major. They're very much, when I told my mom I was also adding communications as my other major, because they seemed kind of disappointed, she got so excited. And then when I talked about my professors wanting to encourage me to go to grad school, she was like, oh my gosh, a PhD in the family. And she was so proud. And I don't think I could ever get that reaction from her if I wrote a book, if I was in New York Times bestsellers. I don't think it would be the same as going to grad school for 4 years and coming out with a piece of paper. She'd be way more proud of that. My dad as well, than me writing a book, which is interesting and something I would like to see the creative field change mindsets of others. It can inspire so many people, so I'm hoping to see that change. So the people who question me and what I'm doing, I often, I don't tell them what I'm personally going to do, because I feel like that will lessen their opinion of me in their eyes. So instead I just spit out all these facts about jobs that are in the publishing industry and what the publishing industry can do for people, how you can work for magazines, and how you can work for legal firms, science fields, and how the ability to write is really important in the creative writing major. And when they're like, well, why do you need a major for that? Well, everyone wants to see a piece of paper nowadays, so.
Thank you for tuning in to Iowa Made Blog. If you want to learn more about literature in Iowa City or the Iowa Writers Workshop, check out my blog, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bye!